Hello, welcome everybody to the Hat Chat podcast, episode 110.
10.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
Nice.
right. And I know you didn't hear the fingal, but
Right,
it was
yeah.
great.
Good.
Thanks.
Can you
Very
describe it with your
sophisticated.
voice?
Canon in D.
Oh, okay.
Literally that.
Oh, was it really? Okay.
Yeah, because
nice. Oh, good.
the
Nice,
guy's
thank
dead.
you.
But it was made by Zach Hughes, and they made it with MIDI. So they got really angry in the email saying, like, the fucker's dead, so he's not going to come after me, and
That's
all
true,
kind of stuff like that.
To be fair.
So-
Yeah.
Their estate might.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll find this podcast. Even our own fans can't find this.
That's true. Yeah. So if you're looking for it, well, congratulations, you found it.
You found it.
Today we have a wonderful hypothetical or
nice.
two,
Oh, good.
as voted on by our wonderful Patreons. Patreon.com/hatfilms. I know I'm plugging it early, but I just want to say thanks
Yeah.
to everyone supporting us.
Thank you.
Supporting us also helps like other projects as well that we've been working on. So
What like?
Thank you. Well, like Booty, for
Like
example.
Booty.
And just
Yeah.
in general, any filming projects, it basically buys our gear. So thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Mean the in the top 5 UK charts for leisure,
That's the one, Booty
D&D
podcast.
Booty.
Yeah. Another
when
podcast
I'm looking
you can
for
listen
leisure.
to.
If you're looking for some leisurely podcasts, you might stumble
Yeah.
across Booty. Check it out.
It's currently up to episode 8
yeah.
as of this podcast.
And it's coming to its closure, so if you do want to watch a little mini-series of us in a fantasy world, role-playing our asses off in comedic fashion, then check it out. Anyway, let's move on to actual, real, nitty-gritty, real-world hypotheticals.
But hypotheticals.
Do you ever introduce yourself? You're Chris Trott.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
Chris
he is
Trott.
Chris Trott.
I'm Alex Smith.
I'm probably Ross Hornby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, well.
It's okay.
This whole time, they were like, who the hell's talking?
Who is this?
Yeah.
Who is this? Episode 110. I
I
still
do always
haven't worked
wonder
it out.
if someone just stumbled across a podcast. Maybe the title alone is intriguing enough.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Sometimes, who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to need to come up with some content to make that title.
Yes.
So what
Yes,
is it
we
going to be? What's the most voted on hypothetical?
Let's see. I don't know which one's been voted on.
It's
the
a big,
highest.
long one.
Oh,
Hint.
is it this top
It's
one?
that hot one, yeah.
Okay, do you want me to read it?
It's a whole like scenario rather than a hypothetical, so
okay.
enjoy.
You discover that you can experience every day twice and choose which version of that day is canon. Every day at midnight, time rewinds to the previous day once. After this has transpired, it will not happen for the same day again. You can experience Friday the 13th 2 times, but once it hits midnight the second time, it becomes Saturday the 14th, as it normally would. Let's call the loops Day A and Day B. These were part of it as well.
The rules, yeah.
These are the rules. The events of that day are exactly the same unless you personally change things. You are the only person that knows about the time loop. Death causes the loop to instantly occur, but it has the same restrictions as the rest of the system. Death on both days just outright kills you. Your body will not sustain injuries through loops. If you cut your hand on day A, you wouldn't have that cut on the rerun. But if you sustain an injury and choose to make it canon, then that injury will persist to the next day. To make a day canon means that those events are the true events of the universe. Only you hold memories of the potential alternatives. There is only one canon timeline, no double paths. Jesus. Your brain hurts. My brain hurts a little bit just reading that.
So you get a go at a day, and then when it hits midnight, it resets, and you do the day again, and then at the end of that
you
second
choose
day,
which one you want to make canon.
I think there's a problem with this. Straight up, having read the whole thing, your second day involves you already knowing what happened in day one.
Yeah.
So
Surely that means that's
there's going to be a lot of day B picks, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that the point? You're like, oh, I didn't really like that.
I'll tighten that up.
If somebody fucks up, you're like, back to day A.
It's an optimization
it's scrub
path.
saving, whatever you said the other day.
Is it kind of
save scumming?
Save scumming.
Save scumming, yeah. Is it kind of like when you leave a voicemail message and you're like, hello, this is Chris Trott, and my number, and then you redo it.
It's very much like that.
You only do it once, and that's it. What if you fuck it up on the second time? You just have to live with it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I mean, I think that this would probably be quite both useful and stressful, because each second pass, each day B, you'd be like stressing to like optimize your day as much as possible. Like,
I guess once you've figured out the pattern, day A is the dream day. You can do anything you fucking want.
It's the draft day.
It's the draft day.
Yeah,
and you can be like, well, I can do something quite reckless today, and then tomorrow choose a different path because
Wild
I know
day.
You know that, wow, But then I guess maybe if you get too fucked up, you might forget or not realize it was a dream.
And one
maybe
day
you're like on heroin
stops.
or something, and like just fucking you pass out or
That's
something.
a
The
good
next
point.
day, like, wait, what day am I on? I fucked up.
Is it A or B?
And also, one day it might just stop.
Oh yeah.
So like your crazy day A,
Yeah.
it's just like now is my life.
yeah,
That's
you
just canon.
This is the thing with Groundhog Day as well. Like, I mean, you never really know when his last day is. He's just repeating the same day over and over again. And so obviously, I mean, there are points where he just starts throwing himself off a bridge and stuff, and it's like,
Pretty harrowing.
yeah,
That could be
it's
it.
like, when is the end? He doesn't know, so you don't know the end. But so you have to be, I guess. But you have to, I guess, you have to enjoy the fact that you know this at the moment, and that's how you should live your life.
Do you know what I'd do? I'd memento it.
Right.
With what's his face in the film Memento, where he tattoos himself, but I'd have an A and a B on each pec,
right?
And I'd circle the one the day I'm on or the day I just had,
yeah.
and then I'd wipe it off. First thing I do every time I wake up is check the circle. Is okay, it
At
was
what point
day
in your
A,
day does that?
day B.
Are you able to do that and it sticks to the next day? Is there a rule on that? As in, like,
Oh, it would reset actually. It would wipe itself off.
yeah, because it depends on when, like, unless you do it like.
That's a really good point.
And does
Dang
that only count if you sleep? So if you stay awake through
It just
several
hits
days,
midnight and then it
Right,
resets
okay.
whether you're asleep or not. I assume.
midnight, so you can't go past midnight.
You're like Cinderella.
Yeah, what if something cool happened at 1 a.m. and you're like, I
Sorry,
can't.
man, I gotta be home. I got curfew.
Yeah,
That's a really good point.
but like,
'Cause also,
again,
if
like
you go
last
to-
week when we were talking about, like staying awake for as long as possible. In this scenario, surely every time you
You've
pass
only
out,
got
it
a-
replaces it. It goes to the next
Yeah,
day.
you
So
just
if you
get
get
24
knocked
hours.
out from a crazy thing in A, you're into B,
Yeah,
and you might not realize it.
that's a really
So
good
there's a lot
point.
of
Also,
trip-up
imagine like how instantaneous and shocking it would be for you to be in like REM sleep close to midnight and then boom, you're wide awake, reset.
Yeah.
That would be quite. And you'd have all the memories of like that day A as well. Do you reckon it would reduce
Nosebleeds.
accidents if everyone had it? If everyone had it right,
Yeah, it
and
would,
you
yeah.
knew that
Oh yeah.
on the motorway today there's going to be a fatal incident and I'm going to have a head-on collision.
You get a get out of jail free card every day.
Yeah.
And everyone would have that. If
Yeah.
everyone had it,
Yeah.
there would be very few
You
accidents.
could see.
Well, you say that, but then you
you
would move into another path,
I guess there could
Yeah.
be another thing
and you could step into the path of something else, right?
where someone
Like
was
this-
trying to avoid
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
could do
It's
the
like
Back to the
collateral.
Future Biff, where you watch a football game, put a lot of money on it, and then next day you know the results of it. So you're
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to do that
Totally.
again.
But then if everyone does that, they're all augmenting. It's like, okay, we're not going to play today because we know we're going to lose.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
I see.
If it's applied to every person in civilization, but then in this rules it said you're the only one that has
does, so
this.
you're the only one aware of it.
Yeah, so you
So
could
you can make the changes
100%
because you know.
be a demigod.
Yeah.
I mean, you're essentially a god at this point, aren't you?
So
This is a godlike power, and I would love it. Yes,
But
I
is
would
money
use-
even
I would take
important if you
this.
can just do anything anyway,
It'd be useful to
Be useful.
facilitate
Yeah.
your choices.
Yeah. without
but-
spending all your time in prison
Yeah,
trying to break out on day
yeah. Oh, that didn't work. I mean, you might even get so bored you're like, I'm gonna try and do a prison break. Yeah.
A. It's time, yeah.
We've got 24
Day
hours.
1000
Oh, that's
prison break.
We can bring back 24,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but instead it's day A, day B.
To be honest, this is
And you
quite a
got the
good
timer.
film concept.
48
It's a great
A
film
slash B.
concept.
Yeah.
I took this from Reddit, by the way.
Oh,
I,
There's
I,
a-
I can imagine
good.
like a Far Cry villain that lives in this world. You
Yeah.
know, like almost like sort of a maniacally kind of semi-evil chaos kind of agent of chaos, really, aren't you? And you go around just like, huh.
I'd call him Two-Face.
Oh yeah.
He'd be split down the middle, and he'd try and change his identity on both sides.
Yeah.
So he's got his day A personality and day B personality.
And he's got a couple of massive bolt-ons
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
one is A and one is B.
Yeah.
And he squeezes
That was-
one based on what day it is.
Yeah. Wake up.
That was A version of me. This is B version of me.
It's not seize the
Get
day.
it
it's
right.
Squeeze the day.
Squeeze the
Squeeze
day.
the day,
And one of them's an A
nice.
cup
Wow.
and one of them's a B cup. That's how he remembers.
Yeah. So in this
Nice.
viewpoint, you wouldn't imagine that, like in the film, for example, that you would see through the eyes of someone who's maybe been caught in the adventure rather than the person going through it. So like it's like there's someone who's been caught by a guy who's like, I'm A and B or whatever, or today is B, and maybe they get caught up in their like crazy ass like journey, and they're like,
Yeah.
but I didn't see you yesterday. Yes, you did, and you're about to jump out that window.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
"What? I wouldn't
You're
even
crazy.
dream of doing that, but you gotta jump out that window. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, okay.
Yeah.
But this is my day B.
Kind of like the Huey of the boys, you know, like that kind of character of like,
Yeah.
Just getting caught up in it.
yeah, and then going with it. Yeah,
the
no,
edge.
it's an interesting idea. I like it.
Should we make a movie?
Would you use?
I think it'd be an
good or for
incredibly
evil?
complicated movie to make.
It would.
But I think that's sometimes,
It wouldn't be that complicated if it's just one person has the power.
Yeah.
If it's the whole world that suddenly gains this power, that would be complicated.
Yeah.
Because then time zones, it's not midnight everywhere all at once, is it?
It's
not everyone gets the same
loop.
loop.
It's the Mogwai conundrum, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's also got the issue of becoming a Tenet situation.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like, okay, so they can go back, but like they're going forwards as well. But then like in their forward time, something's reversing. So that's a sign of... Yeah, that film was weird.
Stupid film.
I haven't gone back to watch it again.
No, I didn't finish it.
But did you watch it at all? Tenet, yeah.
It's not very good.
It's probably worth watching once just to kind of like see what the fuck.
I don't like the reverse effect.
No.
Like, I don't like it. Like, it's so odd, for me, I'm just like, this is kind of stupid. It's kind of a bit like a person like just. I mean, I know it's more complicated than this, but it's essentially just like, imagine if we filmed something, then reversed it and played it forward. Like as it's just like.
It almost seems too simplified, but at the same time, just almost quite an annoying concept.
Yeah.
In the film. Yeah. But this has a little sense of it could go that way if it was picked up by the wrong director.
All right, so we won't get Nolan.
We won't get Nolan. Like, we'll try and find someone who's got a different eye to it. But it's an interesting idea, and like I mentioned again, it's like time travel and anything. Like you kind of always want to use it for nefarious means or doing ridiculous things, like seeing what it's like to crash at 200 miles an hour. So you need to find a vehicle.
Yeah, you're like an adrenaline junkie on one day, and then the other day you're paranoid of like trying to perfect everything.
And then you're like, this is the bed day.
Yeah,
just
it's like,
stay in bed
I
today.
went crazy.
And if you die on day A, you'd be terrified of dying on day B because then you actually die, and you'd lose your godlike experience.
Because do you think you can try and figure out what it is like after death, or is it not going to go that deep?
It just restarts the loop.
Just a
reset.
Immediate reset.
So you wouldn't ever know.
Yeah. There was a TV show, wasn't there, with
Wizardora, I think it's called.
Wizardora, yeah. Ginger girl from American Pie was in it.
Alison Hannigan.
No, Big Frizzy.
Oh yeah.
There was a program on Netflix which was similar, where she was repeating the day. It was like a Groundhog Day thing,
right?
But again, this is all Groundhog Day-ish, so I guess it will remind you of those kind of programs. But
so what's the hypothetical actually here? Just like, would you do it, or what would that be like?
It's just exploring it, exploring the hypothetical situation rather than it being a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you do in that day? If this was your life right now, you've suddenly just realised you're on day B now, or day A maybe, I guess. I don't know.
My day was an insane JO till I KO, like fully KO.
And then just do the same thing again.
I bit down on that lemon and I woke up in day B.
And then you're like, nothing I changed there.
Guess I died.
Okay.
This time I won't go so tight on the noose.
JO till you KO.
I mean, is that ever worth it, do you think? The old choky.
Clearly.
It depends.
It must be.
It depends. It depends on who you are.
Wasn't
maybe
the
like
guy Bill from Kill Bill did it and died
in real life?
Yeah.
Really?
Am I making that up?
I don't know.
It's risky, isn't it?
Is it David Carradine?
That's the excitement, though, isn't it? It's the risk. Like people walk a tightrope between two mountains.
Yeah.
With no safety harness or anything like that. They do it because
that is nuts when they do that. That like stuff shits me up seeing that.
But would you rather asphyxie wank or do that?
Oh, it was accidental asphyxiation.
Oh.
Thai authorities concluded. Okay. That's all I need to read.
Like TIE or
Thai is in Thailand.
Some people use a tie, don't they?
Yeah. Well, he might have done both.
That would be confusing for the author.
I do remember that. That's an odd way to that's an odd way to die, isn't it?
It's a sad way to die, isn't it?
That was his day B. He fucked up.
Somebody found him covered in jizz.
Well, he might not have even finished.
Oh, you hope he did, don't you?
I know this is quite morbid, but
it's quite morbid.
Say you're pretty close, right?
Yeah.
And you clearly didn't have the fruit because you're meant to have lemon to like wake you back up again.
Yeah, the old stimulemon.
And say he's very, very close.
Yeah.
Do you think the body, if he was to just, would it be enough to send him over the edge?
What, to death?
No, to ejaculate.
Maybe, because they say that at the moment of death, DMT substance is released in the brain, right? Which is meant to be like an
euphoric,
incredible, like hallucinogenic, euphoric experience. So maybe. I mean, we need to do the science.
I think there's a lot of people who die during sex.
Yeah,
like heart attacks. Yeah.
It's quite an exertive experience. I mean, the OA, that show that started as really great and then kind of got terrible. Have you ever seen the OA?
I think I did start watching it.
It's got Claire Danes in it, I think. No. Is it Claire Danes?
I think I started watching it, but I don't
Can you
think
Google
I finished,
Is it Claire Danes? But like...
Claire Danes. Okay, let me see. Claire Danes. Claire Danes. The one from...
It's called the OA. Basically, it's all about like near-death experiences. You know, like people who say that they've like see the other side, basically. And there's a lot of that kind of stuff in that, like, you know, like people like they drown them over and over again and then revive them and stuff. And it was kind of a cool idea, and then they just sort of took it way too far, and it got really strange and bizarre and stuff.
I guess that's the kind of problem with these kind of conceptual.
Can you not Google the OA and see?
I might have to. I don't think she's in it.
Okay, maybe it's someone who's like Claire Danes, like.
Oh, Britt Marling. Maybe she looks similar just from that photo alone.
Yeah, it's Britt Marling. Yeah.
I thought it was the OA.
Did you?
No.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
What was the other one that the one with Kiefer Sutherland, that really old one where they like
that's 24.
Flatliners.
Okay.
The Flatliners.
Oh,
where they bring themselves to like point of death and then wake themselves up again.
Right.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
How old is that?
Just see what this like.
There's been a bunch of them, really.
There's been a remake of that as well.
Oh, that's what I watched.
It's what you may have seen, but that was an old school. Yeah, I don't remember much about it other than that was the concept, which is quite a straightforward concept. But like, I don't think I think people from like surgeries and stuff say that they don't remember anything.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's just like sleeping.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about, guys.
Nothing to worry about.
Because when you sleep, what the fuck's going on? Nothing.
You have no concept
of time. About it.
Loads of stuff goes on.
Absolutely nothing to consider.
Dreaming,
of course, yeah. But
the endless dream.
When you don't dream, it's just what you just close your eyes and
wake
up.
You don't exist.
Precisely.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, time is no longer a thing.
Exactly.
So a dream, it could be if your perception of time changes as well, then that moment could extend into infinity, and heaven could just be an endless dream.
Yeah. Like the black hole, the summit.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
The event horizon.
Event horizon, like the event horizon of a black hole. Mm-hmm. Your last breath, your last thought is captured for eternity, or for a really long time. Until you get bored, and then you're like, fuck me, I'd rather die.
Can we just stop? Can we take the cassette out now, please?
What's the science behind waking up just before your alarm goes off?
Probably
because that's pretty weird.
Routine, right?
Like, it must be a routine, like,
or kind circadian rhythm.
Yeah, something like that. But like, that freaks me out whenever that happens. It's like a minute as well. It's like,
what if
my alarm's about to go? You're almost annoyed because you're like, I want a bit more sleep. Like,
yeah, that was me this morning. I woke up so many times because I knew I needed to get up. Yeah. Oh, I hate that when you're like, I need to get up.
What if you both possess the day A, day B ability, and your day A person is screaming at you to be like, I'm going to wake you up before to try and get you to remember that you've had this already. Yeah. And you're just like, no, I woke up before my alarm every time.
Yeah,
and it's not like I've got this godlike power. You keep forgetting.
Yeah, well, that's just I guess a higher being. If you lived your life believing that, I guess you would just walk into traffic without looking.
But you'd always think you're on day B.
Yeah, day B, they live in the real life.
Okay, on the edge.
They're living on the edge, assuming day A sorted it all out. Yeah. So I think people live like that now to this day.
True. Adrenaline junkies.
Fuck it. I have no responsibilities.
I also think if you go too far down that route, that's where like madness lies. Like I think like there's a lot of like just today on my walk. I was going to say walk. I scooted in today because
you always scoot on the rainy days.
I know, I love it. I love the risk.
And that's the edge. Sorry, the scooters will slide out of control really easily.
They're not grippy.
Our ones anyway.
I wear a helmet.
Still though, it's just. Scary.
Saw a guy nearly get like ran over by a 4x4 today. You know the what's it called, the zebra crossing near Pret. Somebody in like an X5 just like went straight over it as a guy was coming across on the bike, and the guy was just like, the fuck, like literally like slid off sideways, everything.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that's beside the point. What I was going to say is on the way up past through Corn Street, there was a couple of like crackheads just yelling. Like at no one, nothing was there, and they were just like yelling like as if they were telling a person to go away, and the other people were just like and that is I
assume they've got like an AirPod in or something,
maybe
on the phone.
Maybe
it's the easiest way to assume now,
but like that there is a point where you could just be like crazy, just like it doesn't matter, this life is ridiculous, especially if you've had like a rough life or like a shit life. You could easily go down the route of like none of this is real. who cares?
I'm
you know,
just
like
gonna opt out of reality.
yeah, like, and I mean, like,
it's always good in that people haven't been pushed to the edge constantly. Well, at least we've not experienced it anyway, in the sense that we've not seen.
Are you suggesting we should try some crack?
I'm saying, in order to
the podcast,
get the perspective of
someone detaching,
someone who has lost all faith in reality. Yeah, exactly.
We need to go to the lowest of the lows.
But drugs are certainly a way to get there, and I think that's where psychosis comes from, right?
Yeah.
This is why.
It's cause and effect.
Fast forward 20 years, we're doing this in an alleyway to nothing. Yeah. A cardboard box, a tin can, and go, fuck you.
Experiment day 655. Crack's
we need
pretty.
More crack. Let's go get some more crack, guys. This podcast is going well. Thanks, guys. See you later.
There's no one there.
There's no one there.
It's just a couple box with some faces drawn on it.
Camera drawn in chalk on the wall.
But yeah, there is only so much exploration of your own reality you can do before you do hit the realms of psychosis and or sociopath, right? Like, and that is in a way almost a shame. Like that's why I think certain stuff like more of the hippie shit, you know, like as in like hell, I'd even go so far as to say something like LARP is interesting because you get to like push the boundaries of interacting with people. How often do you get to like
without taking a hardcore drug
all group pretend, you know, like how often do you get to push like the rules that we all have to kind of interact based upon every day? Doesn't happen very often, does it? And I think that's why people like festivals in general, you know, when they go to music festivals, when they go to stuff like Burning Man, they like this idea of messing with the established order of their
It's interesting you mentioned about rules in terms of like, I guess ultimately like a tribe, like an Amazonian tribe that's been left alone or something. If they killed a person, they just get away with it because that's their way of life. They're not in the same rule set as us. Yeah. So they could just, you know, savagely, you know, cut someone up and eat them. And it's like, well, you just fucked with them, so that's why.
You're going to the Amazon next week.
Whereas you do that down the week. Yeah, I'm going down to Amazon next week. I'm going down there to try and convert them. That's my thing.
Let's start killing and eating people.
Come on, let's religion. It's an interesting
Does it work the other way
around? No, the guy did that, didn't he? He tried to approach them with like, I think he had a Bible in his hand and got shot and died in a river.
Sweet.
But again, just written off, just like, well, let him be, because obviously like it's a very unique, rare thing that, you know,
protected.
It's protected for a reason. But like
what you're suggesting, and I think what you're alluding to is we become a tribe.
Yeah.
And that's called a cult.
Yeah.
Basically.
It is called a cult, yeah.
And there's been a few
documentaries about cults. It's just like,
it's like we're going to remove ourselves from society because we've got a better idea of how to exist.
We'll sit down and watch all the cult documentaries. Yeah. Take notes
and do it right wrong, this time.
See what we could do right.
My one requirement is we all have to wear loincloths only.
Nice. Right, I like that. I like that.
Just loincloths.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
But, you know, Scientology clearly had a look and they're doing it right.
They profited.
They managed to get hold of the kooky celebrities who just endorse it, you know, and they're still doing
There's only pluses.
Fine. You know, Tom Cruise, he's flying in his...
Look how many movies he's got.
Oh, he's got loads of movies. And, you know, Handmaid's Tale lady, she's doing it.
Yeah.
Bart Simpson, the voice of Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
Scientology's nuts. They love it.
Pena.
Michael Pena.
Michael Pena.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, there's loads of celebrities who just pump their cash towards them for what probably feels like just kind of some sort of, I guess, meritocracy of we're successful and therefore these people in this cult are like looking up to us, and it's kind of a place where they can receive constant praise. Yeah, at least that's what it seems like.
I also think that like because
with Tom Cruise anyway, just like kind of he's got like this army of devout followers who've given up everything, whereas he's
I think the attraction is two things. A, when they do the auditing, the interviews or whatever, they really get some dirt on people. I think they have whole investigative wings. You know how they have people who turn up to like ex-members' houses and just hang around? They have whole investigative teams that dig up dirt on these celebrities so they stay in. Yeah. The other element of it is that I think that it gives them a reason for some people as to why their life is so different to other people's. Oh yeah, you know, as in because like, I must be, I must have a reason. Yeah, exactly.
It's all justifications for their behavior, I imagine, as well.
Yeah. It's like, I am an operating theater. Yeah, you know, like I'm like everything I do seems to go so well. Wow, my life is insanely good. What's going on here?
And it makes perfect sense that, you know, it was a fiction writer or whatever. And, and it's just like, well, they're actors. Yeah. So they were that like it kind of blends perfectly, and kind of like we can act in this kind of realm.
Full method with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Until it became their reality.
And then they're just super kind of guarded about
But I guess from our
or
perspective,
mocking it or whatever.
as a pawn, a tiny pawn on a chessboard,
Scientology pawn.
being moved around, they are there as the omniscient chess players, and they're like, look at these guys on their grid.
Exactly. I mean, you must. I mean, look at us looking at the way we see people in the third world live. It's the same perspective.
I look and laugh all the time.
It's mind blowing, like the difference in like quality of life sometimes. Maybe not even quality of life. That might be the wrong thing, because people in the third world are probably more happy than the average Westerner, I'd probably say.
Being aware of certain things.
Yeah, exactly. But like, the access to healthcare, access to education, access to technology, all these things, and just apply that exactly to a person who's incredibly wealthy, who has none of the same restrictions that other people have. And it's understandable. I don't think human beings are very good at like reckoning that, are they? In a rational way a lot of the time. I mean, you get people like Keanu Reeves, who are a really good example of it. I mean, not to hero worship, I don't know the guy at all, but there's a lot of stories and stuff about him, about how he had a pretty rough time, lost a lot of people in his family, all that sort of stuff, and it gave him a perspective to be quite a wholesome person who seems to be quite detached from the normal celebrity indulgence.
I don't want to shit on God Keanu,
because
he is worshipped.
Yeah,
but I guess there is still also an ego there of wanting to be a movie star.
Right. Yeah.
So there is still an element of he's got the freedom, and yes, he's got the perspective of being this wholesome, just down to earth guy that speaks his mind. From also the ability to be in Hollywood and have the life he wants to live.
But it's also one of those things where like it's like everyone, you have your own tribe. Like if these people he works with, he can relate to in a much more direct way than the average person on the street, because he earns big money, he's on TV films all the time. It's like
that's a lifestyle.
That's why they would but it's just, I think Scientology's that next step where it's like, okay, I'm not a Scientologist, I'm just a Hollywood star, which is almost their own category of thing.
True.
But
I'd be on board with celebrity culture if there were more Keanus, for sure.
More Keanus.
More people like Keanu, or like they were aspiring role models rather than the other celebrity, which is all about the ego and doing it for yourself and
making that money,
treading on everyone else to get there.
It is vapid, isn't it? I mean, in general, idolatry is, a sin.
There is appreciation for like someone's work, like obviously like music. It's quite a good example of that, because you just enjoy the music. Like you could listen to it without having to ever see them. And still enjoy that thing without
I'd argue
specifically idolize them. Obviously,
idolizing of musicians is probably even more so than celebrities and actors, because they're this ethereal person. You don't know the personality unless they put it out there. Their music speaks to you on a very personal level. It's like you got me through some really hard times, and the lyrics of this song really connected. It's like you made this song for me, and therefore I feel like
I guess what we're talking about is reality stars are absolute trash.
Agreed.
Reality.
There's no substance to it.
There's no art.
I could relate to in that
capitalism.
Sense. But I think there is a relatability to people will put them in the category of a normal person.
Right.
But they're not.
But the realities are so far from it.
It's because obviously you're seeing them through 60 FPS kind of. It's this kind of raw footage of this is their daily life real, or whatever you think that should be their daily life. Equally, so they're on if they're on a level that you can relate to, and that's why that's more approachable. Musically, it's why I feel like there's an emotive response to.
Well, music is good as long as it's not manufactured music, right? Like as in I agree. Like writers, some musicians.
But then people talk about the Beatles today, like obviously they're a huge thing. They wrote their own stuff. And that stands out more than I don't know, Gina G.
Well, what I'm saying is, I think that if they write, if the artist writes their own Saturday Night.
Hey, she probably wrote that.
Yeah.
I think that as long as they write their own music, I'm fine with it. I think if they don't write their own music, they are still just a product, much like a reality star.
But they can
is
still
a product.
provide an emotive.
I don't know.
A bit.
Do you know what I mean?
A bit.
Such as Wakefield Saturday Night.
Yeah.
Where immediately you're sent straight back to that year 4 disco.
Only Gina G could sing it the way she sang it.
Exactly. That wasn't Gina G. Well, Gina G, what did she do?
Saturday.
No, she did the other one.
Oh, fuck. Ooh, just a little bit. Ooh, there's another one as well. There's another one.
Such a terrible song. But like...
It's awful.
We've got it. That's about 25 years old now.
I was in primary school when that came out.
That's old. We're old.
God, I hated that song when
wasn't
it came
that a
out.
Eurovision entry?
Probably.
I think it was.
It fits in.
Probably, yeah.
But then, would you say about that? Like talking about Eurovision, the last guy who almost won, Sam Ryder, is it?
The guy with the
Like
the
his
anaconda
voice is incredible.
jaw.
So like vocally,
Such
even though
a
he
big
might
mouth.
not write his own music, vocally it's impressive and it can give you an emotive thing because it's like, fuck, that's a really interesting sound. Like that can, I think that does.
Yeah, I mean the talent of the
do you know what I mean?
performer.
I think the talent of the performer can give you that same vibe of like, there's talent there.
So an easier argument
shit
is
at writing music.
People who perform opera, people who perform theatre, like as in you'd still love them even though they'd never wrote the theatre.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
they never wrote Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Like actors.
Yeah.
Like actors, back round again. To actors again.
Because they don't often write the.
No, my main problem is reality stars. Honestly, I that is my main hang up. I really.
Aren't we in a way reality stars?
Well, reality stars. I think it depends. It depends on the types of shows, doesn't it? We would be in the brackets of influencers, which is kind of fucking. I hate that term, but like, as in people would watch us and
there's
be
definitely
influenced by
overlaps.
our like, suggestion.
We're
like,
entertainers,
we don't advertise,
aren't we? I think we're entertainers. Ultimately, we entertain
yes,
people.
But like in
By
terms
being us,
of
though.
social media, like we do adverts for Nvidia or whatever, and sure it's a product we personally endorse because we use it ourselves, but like there are some people who don't give a shit about what they sell and have that same kind of platform, and we're just in the sea of that. So like I feel like I don't trust anything any advertisers say fully. I kind of like just would if I see it, I'm going to research it, right?
Yeah,
basically.
you just have
and that's the advice I would
starting-
give to anyone who sees an advert for anything, even if it's from people you think you trust or watch all the time. If there's any kind of product they're selling, you always look into it, like regardless of what they say.
You can take a trusted opinion from, say, an influencer you like as a starting point, and then use that as like I'd rather pick this over something I don't know anything about, and then research it further, I guess.
Yeah, but
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're not reality stars.
I mean, we are pretty close.
We're like a tiny
I
stepping
concede
stone
we
above
are
it.
pretty close to a reality star. I think for me,
is a
it's
reality
just
star different from a YouTuber? Because you can be a YouTuber and a reality star.
no, not really.
Well, we're on Twitch.
No,
right
I don't,
now.
I don't think there's
streamers.
much difference.
Streamers, YouTubers.
It's just the platform that dictates
Do I
our
hate me?
name.
Maybe.
Do I hate me? I don't think I hate. Hate's so strong a word. I don't hate. I do think that like people like Kim Kardashian are responsible for a decline in humanity.
Yeah, but you make your own decisions.
Like,
Like,
they are pretty. Like they're awful for people.
Oh yeah, they sell like weight loss products that just make people piss themselves. It's like they just don't have any kind of barrier to
all
entry.
they want is money.
So it's just they don't give a shit about the
You
end
could argue
consumer.
that,
Whereas
like,
it's down to the individual to sell what they think is appropriate to someone.
It's you can't. I guess we can't tar the paintbrush across the entire category, right?
No.
But on a whole, reality stars is not a good start, is it?
It's
a good
not. I
starting
don't think
point.
it's good for people. I think art is good for society. I don't think reality.
What if it's
stars
made by
are good for
AI,
society.
though?
What if a reality star becomes a great artist, or is an artist, and you didn't realize, and then they're like, oh shit, they're actually really.
Well, now their
fucking
art
good.
is helping.
So now you would call them an artist over a reality star, but they started on Big Brother.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good
So it's
point.
like,
I guess
There's a
what
wrestler-
what we're saying is there's nuance
Yeah.
and a spectrum to everything.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah, you're right there. I still really dislike the Kardashians. So
Yeah, of course, they're the kind of king of reality bullshit.
they're like the final form.
Yeah.
If anyone aspires to be like them, maybe have a different perspective on life,
Yeah.
because that's not a good role model.
I also think that idolizing people just because they're successful is not a good thing either.
Yeah, because they're not.
Blind idolization is probably
They're
that's the problem
often
with
not
politics as
self-made,
well.
and what they spout as like, "This is how you can make it like me," is often a lie, because they're probably given money or a good quality of life to begin with, or
And
luck
even
with-
if they made it themselves, it's not always the path that they take is always the path that other people should take.
or
right?
can take.
Yeah.
What's the
Anyway.
thing when you see like kind of those outrageous outfits that cost like tens of thousands of pounds? It's like the average person wearing that down the street is going to look fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like they just aren't. Like
You can only
see
wear it
stuff
at a
like Lewis
gala.
Hamilton wears, like walk into the grid.
Yeah.
It's like that looks fucking ridiculous.
Does
like
it?
what you're wearing is fucking really stupid.
Yeah.
But like the average person, one, won't afford it, but two, like it's obviously like a fashion statement. He's doing it because he's being photographed or some bollocks. I don't know why he does it half the
Maybe
time.
it's
But like
sponsors.
potentially, but like the average person wearing that shit is just going to look really stupid unless you're going to like a specific event where it's like we're all going to wear this stuff. But
It's
you're
like
not going to go to the fucking Tesco's wearing a fucking lampshade and like a
I wouldn't see
crazy
Lewis.
pink like fucking coat that hits the floor and then like kind of I don't know, it's weird lapels. It's like this is all a fashion thing, which is just
I wish
kind
we
of-
all dressed like fantasy characters.
yeah,
That'd be
it's
cool.
it's a fantasy character element kind of thing, but like
I wish
yeah.
more people were angry about the fact that some people get to live their lives in extreme luxury and everybody else doesn't.
People are angry about that.
But I mean, like,
people are really angry about it.
I think that, like,
people are like, this is ridiculous,
There's
especially
not
when
much
it comes
is
to
done,
like,
I guess. Well, not much can be done, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially in like a
it's
capitalist
absolutely
society.
insane.
Like,
well, yeah, it's because we've all been taught about, you know, the meritocracy and the fact that, like, you know, the reason that some people are better than you is because they've earned it, you know, and it's just like.
But then obviously the reality of that is just
it's bullshit.
It's not true. Like the rich get richer because, you know, your money makes more money.
If that's the case,
and so like.
And people live and die without ever being able to change their stars, to quote Heath Ledger in A Knight's Tale.
Nice.
If we believed everything in the education system, everyone with A's and A stars would be the highest paying, most successful people there are. And then you'd be able to say, like, what do they get in GCSE? I probably know what they're doing now. It's not the case.
Also, some people have access to better education.
Yeah.
Like that, I mean, that is
you came from that school?
Like, we have private and public education, which literally creates division within our society.
Pay for a better life.
At the start.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is like, it's nuts. But yeah, anyway, like you say, plenty of people know that.
There's not to
right.
turn a blind eye to it, because we've got a prime minister who just believes that energy companies are, you know, working really, really hard to get that money. It's just like, we're fucking aware, we're seeing everything going on. You can't just pull that over our eyes. So yeah,
you know, the reason we stopped fracking was because the environmental agency that's like in charge of making sure that like things are reasonably safe, they couldn't predict the amount of earthquakes that fracking would create. They were worried that basically fracking, the process of using chemicals and water to loosen shale gas from rock, is going to cause too many earthquakes. The UK doesn't have many earthquakes, right? We're an incredibly
very lucky
tectonically stable country. We occasionally have them, but like it's never been a major concern. But they're like, we banned it because it's going to create more earthquakes.
Well, it's instability. And, it's not.
And now they're like, we're going to unban it and just, I don't know. Literally going to be more earthquakes in the country because of it. It's bonkers. It's
like someone is literally looking at just a sheet of paper, not looking outside of the world. And go, okay, well, that's how we make more money. So let's just do those things.
It's cheaper that way.
Yeah, like, I think that's literally how this
and give solar panels to everyone. It's like a government grant, but let's get back to fracking. Let's do that. Let's do short-term goals so I can get rich now.
Yeah. Horrible reality.
Anyway,
as they say in Battlestar Galactica, it's franked.
Sorry, I just saw the second Patreon.
What's the second Patreon?
So it says, would you still jack off if when you came, your semen was just one big sperm and afterwards you had to fight it? How big is it?
Like
also, are you
size of a
birthing
large
that
dog,
or do you like is it like a kind of like it splats out and then it kind of grows?
It grows very quickly.
Time to fucking fight, bro!
And it's aggressive.
Like, oh my god! Or it just maybe it's this full size you. It's a you.
It's angry because you didn't deem it worthy of becoming a child. That's what it's so pissed off about. It's like, was I not good enough for you? And it's like Rocky.
I'll take you down.
Imagine you're in a fucking shower there, like one of those kind of small cubicle showers. Whatever, and then I've got to fight him, bro.
Oh shit.
And every time you fight him, it's like hitting like a really sort of like
there's a squidge
like
to
fighting an inflated bin bag.
You can't punching in a dream.
And
it's always punching in a dream.
What about wet dream fight?
Wet dream fight.
I woke up strangled.
Oh no,
it's tails.
I didn't summon you.
Like fighting the genie from Aladdin.
Involuntary summoning.
I think you should always have like your sperm weapon, right? Just the hand, just like a mace.
Which I think a sword or a machete would be pretty good.
But I also feel like, there's obviously a timeline. Like, they can't just last forever. Otherwise, you'd be able to create clone armies.
I think it would wear you out. You wouldn't be able to do it for a while. Maybe,
what's the half-life of a
sperm? Not very long. It's like literally like...
So when it's fighting you, like, could you just hide from it? Like,
you'd have to wait for it to wear itself out.
Yeah, a spunk and run. Don't go in that room. I just came in there. What? Oh god, is he in there? Yeah.
You can hear him banging around.
He's fucking amped.
Throwing things around in there until he runs out of energy.
He's fucking amped.
It would have the energy of the infected from I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like breathing.
Yeah.
Just animalistic.
Oh god, that was quite an evocative film, that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that obviously full sex, you're fine, or
as
that motherfucker's coming back to you.
You only get the one.
He's gonna get out of there. He's gonna climb out.
It could be like
you run.
It could be an alien scene where it's just like it didn't fully make it and it bursts out.
I want to see this film.
It gets caught in a condom, and then as it expands, it suffocates inside the condom.
Thank God. Yeah, condoms are extra durable.
Release me!
It's like a Voldemort.
Please. And you got to hold the
ghostly.
Let it die.
Right. Tie the knot. Tie the knot. It's
Why do you think these things are so stretchy?
I think that'd be.
Sounds hilarious. Sounds like a Seth Rogen like film.
Yeah. They'd be way less blasphemous, though, wouldn't they? And sinners.
Yeah.
Masturbating. Christ.
When you've got to fight your own sperm, then you really think about whether it's worth busting a nut
in front of Jesus.
Yeah. Jesus
but also
is
just like
watching.
like
And masturbating.
You just walk past the work toilet, suddenly a fucking green monster comes out. Like, who was this?
Who did that?
Who did this?
That looks like Dave. I know.
What toilets?
It's running out of energy
those eyes.
in there.
I know those eyes.
You go in and it's just slumped over a sink.
You just get a group of you to start beating on him.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get him.
You can form a group of like semen bashers. Get paid to like beat up your semen.
Fucking hell.
We'll take him out for you, mate.
We bash him after you bash off.
Yeah, you're all working in a nuclear submarine, and it's just like a horrible fucking cage fight.
Semen fights.
We gotta like take him out. We got to surface.
Paul and Joe just shook one off, so we're gonna have to fucking prepare. Let's get ready. Get your stuff on.
They've all got like those like bits of wood that people use to kill fish. You know, like all that bashing poles. Just like get your blunt implement out, and it's like
that taser's not gonna work here.
Bit of banister.
Fuck.
These guys are reinforced.
Jesus, yeah.
We've been training our jack-offers to like really build up their sperm.
The batter men come.
Because it's just it's the revelation that someone's been jerking off in that place. So you go, okay, that, and then the physical
airplane toilet
fight afterwards. Airplane toilet. Well, God,
the bloody air marshal gets up.
No, never again. There's going to be a specific weapon to take them down.
The amount of times you just like walk past the toilet and you hear like just crashing and thuds and stuff.
For God's sake!
You know what's going on?
Couldn't you hold it? You know what's going to happen.
Turns out salt
Screaming.
is the best weapon. Yeah. Like a slug.
Yeah. You coming?
Salt him.
You coming to work with a black eye? Yeah. Oh, again.
Sorry. Yeah.
Bloody hell, mate.
Guy got the jump on me. Got the jump on me.
Fucking hell. Abstain.
Abstain is the only way.
Yes,
Abstain or train.
Or shoot off a bridge.
Abstain. Everyone goes to the gym just to like be able to
always
fight.
Shoot off the edge of a bridge.
So when it comes into consciousness, like,
yeah, good luck, buddy.
That's all.
Oh, where am I? There's just a fucking queue of people off bridge wanking.
But then it hits the water and then just swims off.
Swims away.
Into
nature you go.
Oh, fuck, we got another sperm dam.
Local fishermen are pissed off because they keep hauling up
our nets.
sperm.
Dead sperm.
Dead sperm bodies.
Turns out it's a delicacy. They fry it up like a fish omelette.
Oh, yeah, I can see that happening. That's gross.
The complications of this are extreme, though. Yeah,
this is a funny idea.
Are endless.
I think I'd rather make this film than the AB film. I think it'd be sort of simpler.
Why not combine them?
Yeah. We could definitely pitch it.
He's having the wank on A. He's having this fight. He's figuring out where the best place to do it was.
Yeah, but okay, you reset the day, but the sperm can live through the days.
Wow.
It's like the chicken gag in Family Guy, isn't
it?
It's like the free coupon chicken gag thing where he just turns
wanking into a blender.
Oh yeah, you got to kill it instantly.
Yeah,
into a waste disposal
pool of bleach. Just
bucket of
there
salt.
Are ways to do that. I mean, honestly, it's endless.
A fire, just jizzing into a fire.
Yeah. One of those weird, like, kind of metal crunching that you can toss like giant hunks of steel in.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Just into one of
those.
Just
a crusher.
Yeah,
crusher.
A
wood chipper. Nice.
Classic wood chipper.
But that was splatter.
So obvious when you're doing it as well.
It really is.
I feel like the best way to take one of those like turbo flame lighters and just like as it comes out, just run it through the flame.
Yeah. But depending on the timeline as well, you could build a small army and kind of maybe persuade them.
If you could cage
to fight
them,
for you.
Almost like a Meeseek scenario.
A little Meeseek scenario that you've just had to exhaust.
But they don't live that long, remember?
Yeah. They get smaller every time on the day. Oh, less. Sorry, I'm running out of juices.
You guys
I've got an army of 6 of you. Oh God, my arm aches.
Strong ones at the front. Strong ones. Phalanx maneuver. Get the small ones in the middle.
Protect them. They're the smart ones.
Take this spear. Take this. Go on, let's do this.
They're the smart ones.
Well, I think we've explored that.
Yeah, that's good.
Pretty hard there. And you know what? It's been a solid episode.
I think so.
I think we've left them with a lot to think about. Day A, Day B, and sperm fights.
That's honestly the sperm fight thing. It's
got
hilarious. I mean, the answer. I mean, is there an answer to that? I mean, I would jack off less. Is the answer? Sorry, just.
Absolutely.
But if that happened,
but
in
not
real
never.
life,
but not never.
But not never.
The thing is, it's a little bit.
but I think you would literally be more inclined to just wait.
You'd have a
wait
real
for sexy
serial
times.
killer mentality because you'd be like fantasizing over it for ages, wouldn't you? And you'd be like, oh, right, okay, well, I'm gonna have to get everything ready.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drive somewhere dark, and I'm gonna have to kill and bury this sperm.
Into the woods.
Yeah,
Run.
you know, like
It's a real roller coaster of emotions because you're going from like euphoric, sexual high to I've got to fight for my life
right,
now.
okay.
Imagine just seeing one of the sperm dudes running on the
serious
motorway because someone just did it out of the car, out of the window of a car.
me.
Oh my god! No, fuck it.
Maybe. Oh my god! How? Maybe.
So many ideas with this.
Maybe this is like a pandemic movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like a zombie movie almost, where like something's happened.
Something in the
like,
water
now
turned
every
our sperm
time
into people.
and you're like trying to escape the city, and you're driving on the motorway, and there are all these sperm
What
like
if there was
meeseeks running around.
An
Like,
unfortunate cataclysmic like New Year's event
Yeah.
where it was so sexy, too many people ejaculated at the same time, like the kettle's boiling in EastEnders.
Yeah.
It's like it formed an army.
It's World War Z, and they're clambering over each other.
It was too sexy. Now
Standing
there's
on top of a-
sperm men
a
everywhere.
mall with an M249. Why?
I kind of
Why are
picture
we
them
so
to be
horny?
a little bit like those fully white kind of kitted out creatures in Westworld.
Yeah.
Do you know the ones?
The fully
Those very
white
strong
ones.
ones. Yeah, the fully like the kind
Oh
of,
yeah, the weird like
the A suits, whatever, the basic suits.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but a little bit wet.
Yeah,
Like kind of
they
slimy.
would be
So there's a
damp,
sludge to them,
Yeah.
sticky.
like Grimer,
Like
Ugh.
grime.
That's
the
gross.
Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, but yeah, no, there's plenty of ideas where that could
So much.
really
I
go.
think we
Like,
should probably lock
yeah.
down this idea before it gets stolen.
Don't
Well,
take this idea.
we've locked it down. This is it.
ours now.
We've imprinted
What
it.
would we call
It's gone
it?
out live.
Spermageddon?
Spermageddon.
Spermageddon.
Or like
Working title.
Attack of the Living Sperm.
Yeah.
That's like a Goosebumps book. Just
Spermicide.
R.L. Stein. Attack of the
Spermicide,
Living
yeah,
Sperm.
nice.
Spermicide, nice.
Sperminator.
Yeah, but it'll be a
just
teen
like-
comedy. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
It'll be
It's gonna be teen
yeah.
comedy. Yeah.
Like Zombieland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's time to
Starts
bring
with a nerdy loser who,
Yeah.
one day.
and then he meets the Chads who are strong just because they've been beating off their sperms.
Yeah.
So that's how they've gotten so big and
We're
strong.
good at this, man.
Yeah.
We're
We've
good.
been fighting our sperms for decades.
Yeah.
I found a way to make friends with my sperm. And I formed an alliance.
I make love to my sperms.
The
What?
only people
Oh my
that are
God.
left alive at the
Sperm
end of
lever.
a decade of it, though, are like the people that have been chemically castrated.
Yeah.
You know, like just like
Yeah. There's a whole there's a cult of them.
and women, obviously.
Yeah.
Sorry, women. Women is the other one.
This is very focused.
What if they had to
on
fight their egg?
They had to fight their egg.
Yeah.
Maybe
so
they-
theirs is less, as in less times, but like that's once a month. Maybe that bad boy's coming
every
to fight.
time, every time it
It's like, wait, no, it's my time.
evacuates.
Oh fuck!
And it's a 1 in 2 chance to get 2.
Oh god.
1 in 2.
Yeah.
Well,
But I think whatever this is,
every
it
time.
should affect everyone. Yeah, in that
Yeah.
sense. So yeah.
we made it equal too, and that's nice.
there we go. Yeah.
They're dual wielding. It was twins.
Yeah. Otherwise, I guess women would revolt against men who are wanking all the time.
That's true.
Stop it! Keep it in your pants.
Give me your pants, you wankers.
Stop.
Women against wankers.
Yeah,
That could be an equally good storyline because you can have like the really fucking hardened
Yeah.
women
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would
that
have,
are like
Rambo-esque.
no men in here,
yeah.
and shoot down all men that look partially horny.
Yeah. You look exhausted. Wait, did you?
No,
you bastard. You bastard.
just call it spunked.
There are plenty of
Nice.
tiles, working tiles for this kind of thing,
Yeah.
and plenty of sequels as well. I'm predicting 5 or 6 sequels, like Fast and Furious franchise level.
Vin
I'm
Diesel.
gonna go home and get a load of material on the bed and
wow.
daydream about this idea.
Really load of material.
the Rock as Alpha Sperm. He's like
Yeah.
their leader.
He was the first,
Johnson,
the first that survived. He got away from his owner.
the strongest sperm, longest I've lived for 20 years. It's a sperm.
How?
Do it, man.
Protein shakes.
I says shakes and I sleep.
Roids.
I sleep in a hot tub of mayonnaise.
Shit. Okay. That's good. I mean, we've got a film idea. We've got a couple of film ideas today. We'll get those.
I think we
in the
got
can.
a series.
Do you think this is
a
how writing
franchise.
rooms go? Must be.
I like to think it's probably a lot more formatted, but
It feels
Yeah,
more
yeah.
like a 1 week turnaround South Park episode
Yeah.
idea.
Or Rick and Morty writing room, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Rick and Morty episode.
That's a Rick and Morty
Yeah,
episode.
The sperm
definitely.
monsters.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
okay, nice.
There you go, Rick and Morty. You can have that with a lot of money given to us.
Yeah, as long as this is always reference back to this moment where we conceptualized the idea. If it already exists, let us know. I want to see it.
Yes. I'd like to also thank our Patreons for allowing us to talk about this in the first place. They chose this as one of the answers, so thank you, Patreons. Patreon.com/hatfilms. Don't forget, you get the ad-free version of this podcast on there if you're sick of your podcast platform injecting them all the time. But that's the way we sustain ourselves, so thank you very much for listening to them. And if you've got a fingal like Zach Hughes, send it in to hatchat@hat-films.com. Maybe you've got a hypothetical that you've daydreamed, or maybe some funny news you found that week. Let us know via email, and stop signing us up to spam shit, son of bitches.
Is there a lot of spam?
Yeah, we're getting
there
a lot
is
of
a
spam
bit of spam
recently.
on there.
A bit of spam.
Yeah,
have to clear out that inbox.
Well, we said someone used our Hatchat as their own personal Instagram.
Well, don't do that.
And then they got locked out, and then I just didn't accept it.
We're going to get the verification code.
I know.
We're going to be like, no, we're not going to unlock that for you.
Whoever you did that.
But yeah, join us in a week's time, hopefully back to Fridays for Hat Chat. And we'll be back Monday if you want to see us live stream on twitch.tv/hatfilms. Until then, stay safe out there. Don't JO without a weapon nearby. And we'll see you soon.
Indeed.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Posh wanks out.